Just going to do a modification on this wheel. I'm going to replace the metal part down here and this spacer over here at the rear with an all solid plastic block. So this is going to be plastic, plastic, plastic and plastic, and it's all going to be increased in thickness in one piece for easy assemble. And while we're at it, we're just going to inspect these parts here. I've done a bit of off-road trailing and they are holding up perfectly. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this, and I'm just modifying it just for the sake of modifying it. I'm very impressed with this and I'm ready to do more mods. The other thing I want to do is these bolts are M5 and I want to make these all M6. The original design was M6, but I changed them to M5, but they don't need to be M5, they can be M6, and that's going to be great. It's going to be stronger and peace of mind. But this is rock solid, just does not move, there's zero movement. I'm very happy with this hanger. Something fascinating, I just undid these 4 bolts and this hanger is rock solid. This main bolt that goes all the way through is what holds you onto the inner pole and what your hanger literally hangs off. And this is rock solid. I'm thinking I only need a bolt in the bottom, a bolt at the top, and then a bolt here. So I'm making a triangle pattern, and that will be enough to hold everything perfect, and that'll save 2 bolts and make manufacturing so much easier. That's going to be an awesome upgrade. But not now, that's next revision. So it is really cool. When this one bolt comes out, the rear plate comes out, the spacer plate comes out, this whole top section just lifts off. The spacer to stop them sliding. The compression plate, just a spacer plate, it's just a spacer. So everything depends on this bolt that goes through. Now we can undo these 2 and these 2, take off the stand, and then the plate here comes out that we're no longer going to use. It's going to be plastic. So the reason we're replacing this with plastic is so we don't have to use this spacer in here anymore, because that's going to be built into the hanger. Yeah, so this spacer here, this spacer here has to stay because it's part of the frame that runs around. It becomes part of that part, so I have to keep that one. That just stays because it's just part of it. And this component will get replaced. Let's have a look at the plastic version. For that, let's just pull out our old hanger. Oh, I forgot about that. Custom hanger with our custom base. We've got that groove cut out of it. The hanger bracket is printing. Can't really see much, but it should be ready soon. We just took off this piece here, and remember at the bottom we used to have this on, so we just angle ground that off, filed it up, and you'd never know that it was there. Now that we've got that hanger back on, it's definitely looking a lot cleaner along here. This is not sitting all the way up. There we go, that's the better situation. Let's put the plastic one on. I've been saying that forever now. We're removing 4 parts at 150 grams. Print under finished, but anyway, 100 grams. It recommended 85 grams, but whatever. We've drilled out all the 5mm holes on this and made it all 6, so we're holding M6 bolts on this now. I'm going to change from my 6mm plate down to my 5mm plate. This one still has the M5 holes on it, but these 2 plates are M6 with M5mm holes. We're no longer using this part here, and we are changing it to one individual block. This is my first prototype. It's looking really good, so we should be able to slide that straight on. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, it's going on. Pretty tight. There we go. Got that hole in alignment. That looks pretty good, and we got our hanger sitting right there. And this is all loose. So our batteries are at the correct heights and our cutout for our stand. Forgot to put the heat sets in. I have no idea how I'm going to get this out now. It is so tight. We got our hanger, that's all M6. And that should technically just drop straight in, depending on how tight everything is. So that just drops straight in really smooth. Get these aside, so that's looking good. This bolt's not in alignment for some reason, and yeah, and then all we've got to do is slide in our plate at the bottom for it to clamp against. That should be good. So it's actually on so tight I can put a screwdriver in here and move the suspension. I can move the suspension of the machine easier than it will separate. Oh, I've got a problem getting this off. Like, plastic is strong. I can belt this. And holy shit. I've actually bent the screws. And this plastic frame is still strong. Oh man. Well, that really sucks. Well, they're bent, so they're fucked now. Hey, I got it off. Wow. Well, this thing is super strong. My bolts are bananas. Why was it so tight? It's just the tolerances of that hole. The cutouts for this are perfect. It's just this tolerance. Just got to make it a bit wider. I wonder if I just cut down here and I cut down here, so it's not actually joined, because my plates sit flush. I might work on that. So that's the hanger. I did split it in the middle. I just got to make the tolerances of this circle a bit more so it slides onto the unit a bit more. I've got my bolts cut to the correct height. They just protrude a little bit because that would mean the 6mm plate would fit in there as well. In regards to the factory, well, my custom hanger, which is all belted up now, there's a lot of optimizations I can do on this printed one. This version here is a little bit better at the front for collisions, and I wanted something to be printable for my first prototype. It's not such a clean print, but it does work. So all I got to do is remove this bolt, and this thing can all be assembled, and I can slide it straight on. So in the state it is now, it's like bolted together. I've got to reduce the pressure on these, and then I can slide this straight on and give it a belt to get it on. Well, we got the big plastic hanger, battery hanger on there with the pedal plate, compared to the old side where we had the aluminium and the spacer block and then these spacers, so we can see what it looks like. I'm very happy with this first prototype. It's definitely doing what it's required to do. I definitely want to clean it up and do some design changes to make it more printable and make it smaller. But apart from that, it's great. I do like these aluminium things. They're definitely stronger, but having a lot less components and having it all built into one makes it worthwhile.